5 years and still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Here's where I sing. Hello, everybody. This is Alex Bennett, and this here is the Ramble. Yes, sir. And we're here until let's see here, midnight tonight, Eastern time and Daylight time, and we have a guest here. Huh? Who's that? Who's that? Huh? Who is that? Huh? Say hello to them. Hey.
Hello, them. How are you?
Yeah. That's what's your name?
I came to New York to go to the Ramble, but I thought I was going to meet other guys in the bushes. It's not that Ramble?
It's not that Ramble.
Oh, I thought it was that Ramble.
No, it's not that Ramble. Hi, how are you, ladies and gentlemen? There he is. It's Albert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just me. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you later.
Okay.
Goodbye. No, he's in town. He and the wife are
visiting the daughter.
Visiting the daughter.
That's right.
And her boyfriend.
Yes.
And watching BattleBots.
Love BattleBots. Love BattleBots.
Yeah, I was into BattleBots maybe 20 years ago. What happened to you? Why did it take you so long to get
I've been
up
watching
to
it since it's been on TV. I didn't grow up in San Francisco. I didn't, so
No.
I couldn't get it as early as you could.
Yeah.
But I love the violence.
Yeah.
But nobody gets hurt. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, that's terrific. It's terrific.
But there's plenty of violence.
Yeah. I used to watch it, and then Cheaters came on at the same time, and I had to make a choice.
I don't know what Cheaters is.
Oh, you've never seen
No.
Cheaters? Oh, that's the lowest rent TV show going.
Is it about people cheating on each other?
Yes.
I have no interest in
Yes. Well, no, but I mean, somebody comes to them and says, "I think my boyfriend has been cheating on me," and then
Yeah.
they send their detectives out to photograph them and show what's going on, with the whole thing.
that. Do any parts come off these people?
Well, then they show the person the videotapes they found and what they found out about the
Yeah.
cheating, and then they confront the guy or the woman on the air.
But no parts come off of these people.
No parts come off.
See,
of these
that's the
people.
part I like about
That's
BattleBots.
what you like about
There's total destruction. They come apart completely.
Well, there is a good chance that parts could come off of these people.
If you told me that happened, I might watch
Yeah,
Cheaters.
I'm going to turn the fan
But
up
I don't.
here. I've got to turn the fan up. I don't know. We have some weird. It's horrible weather this year.
It's kind of humid, yeah.
Yeah, it's not nice. It's not pretty. But anyway, so you were watching BattleBots,
Right.
and you like. I didn't even know that was still on.
It's now back, or it's now on Discovery. Used to be on ABC, and before that,
Now,
I think
how
it was
does
on
that
Spike.
fit into the Discovery, mold?
I don't know, but they must know that there's an audience for it.
Discovery, you would have shows about the planets and about insects and
Not-
things like that. But what they got?
You know better than that.
BattleBots is on
No,
Discovery.
no cable television channel does what its name says it does.
Really.
And the biggest example of that is, of course, MTV. There's no music on MTV.
There's no music on MTV. They stopped having music years ago.
So why can't Discovery have BattleBots?
But they do have, what's the other network that MTV has?
VH1.
VH1. They play music.
They play hits?
Do they play hits?
They don't play videos or hits.
Really?
So it's not video hits one. I don't get it.
So you were telling me that on the Disney Channel there's no Disney?
I couldn't answer that because I never watched the Disney Channel.
I never watched the Disney
The
Channel.
only thing I love about Disney is their stock. That's it.
Yeah, their stock does pretty well.
For me, it's been doing okay.
Can you imagine that? That was a company that when Walt died, they went, well, that's it for the company. And it almost was it for the company, to tell you the damn
Right,
truth.
yeah.
And all of a sudden, today, they are maybe the biggest media company in the world.
That's quite possible.
There
yes.
isn't
Yeah.
anything they don't exactly own.
Yeah. They're very diversified. That's good. That's good about the company.
Yeah.
And they got Star Wars. So
But if Walt came back today and he looked at Disney, outside of the fact he would say, boy, I'm making a lot of money off of this, right?
yeah.
what would he think of of his namesake company and what it's doing?
Well, I don't think he'd necessarily be disappointed in the company, but I think, like his relatives, he'd be disappointed in the treatment of the employees of the company.
Yeah.
So
There are some questions about that, aren't there?
there have been in the last few weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Like, what are they saying?
That they're mistreated in some way, I guess, as far as pay or compensation or vacation, or I don't know what it is, but that they didn't like the way they
Do
were treated.
parts come off?
Not as far as we know, because they keep them behind stage. The cast is kept behind stage, so maybe
Yeah.
parts do come off. I know heads come off the characters,
Yes.
so parts
Yeah.
I guess do come off.
Yeah, but there've been some problems over at ESPN, which they own,
Yeah.
because some people have decided to become political, and they don't like their people on the air to become political.
Well, then they better get the animatronics out there on ESPN, because
Yeah.
that's the only way to keep them from being political.
They really should. Yeah, I just Disney is just they own everything. They own the Marvel stuff.
Mhm.
They own Star Wars.
Right.
They own the Muppets.
Right.
They own.
Not to mention Mickey Mouse and that gang.
Well, they forget who's Mickey Mouse.
Right.
Who's
Theme
Donald
parks.
Duck. Huh?
Theme parks, television,
Mm-hmm.
ABC they still own? Do they still own ABC? I think they
Yes,
still
of course, they
ABC.
still
Yeah,
own
yeah.
ABC.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when is the government going to say, Disney, you're a monopoly?
Well, they don't do that anymore.
Oh, they don't do that
No.
anymore.
Look
Okay,
at, look at
because-
Google and the rest of them. They
Because
don't do that.
here's the problem. They're pulling stuff away, like from Netflix.
Right.
Like all the Marvel stuff they're pulling off of Netflix. And
Right.
a lot of the movies that they used to
Right.
let Netflix have, they're pulling off. And why they're pulling it off is because they're going to have Disney Plus starting. And so they're going to move everything over there. And I don't know that doesn't suddenly come under the guise of,
If they own it, they could do what they want with it.
well, but you can't.
Why not?
If you can't deny someone else the ability to make money. For instance,
If it's your product, you can.
they announced they announced that certain shows that are very popular over there, and I'm trying to remember which one. Friends
Mm-hmm.
is no longer going to be on
Netflix.
Netflix,
Right.
and they're pulling a couple other Disney-owned shows. And it's just the question is when you're starting your own entity,
Yeah.
and then you deny some other entity that's very similar to what you're doing, your product, because you're now moving it over
What was
to
that you
yours.
say just now? Your product.
Yeah.
It's not Netflix's product. And by the way, Netflix has a ton of product of their own. And I always say that. I say, how do they come up with all this stuff constantly? That's what they have to do.
Well, you know what they do is they take something that was done in a foreign country we never saw before,
Mhm.
and then they say a Netflix original.
Okay.
It's
Whatever-
not.
Whatever,
It's not.
whatever it
but
takes.
they say a Netflix original.
They put money into it somewhere, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's their thing.
But I mean, it's I don't know. It was years ago. It was somebody. Oh yeah, HBO. When it first started, and Time Warner or Time Life at that time
Right.
had HBO. HBO wanted to start making movies, and the government said you can't.
Oh, did they?
Yep.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
HBO original movies, they said you can't.
You can't.
Why?
You can't go into the movie theaters. You can't compete against the very people you're buying stuff from. You get what I'm saying? They were buying movies for the
Uh-huh.
network,
Yeah.
and now they were going to go into competition with those people, and the government said no.
And how long did that last? Because
Well, apparently it didn't last very
they've
long.
made movies for many years now,
Yeah.
and good movies.
Yeah, but I mean, this was stuff for theaters.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so on. And I often said, well, why do they want to do that anyway? Aren't they happy finding their own niche for what they do, which is being a cable network? Of course, now being a cable network ain't much of anything. Because I was looking at losing HBO on my FiOS
Right.
if I went to another plan, which I didn't go to because the one I currently have, which they're willing to continue for another year with all my discounts,
Right.
only going to go about $10 a month. I get to keep my HBO. But I figured if I lose my HBO, I told girlfriend who goes, "Oh, I can't lose HBO." I said, "How many times do you watch it on the cable?
Yeah.
How many times do you go to HBO Go and watch the shows there?" "Well, that's what I do." "Well, then you will just subscribe to HBO Go, and in a couple of months it'll be HBO Max, And that's where Doctor Who's going, you know.
Down the road, you're not going to need FiOS or Spectrum or any of that other stuff.
I will need FiOS.
For your internet, that's it.
Yeah, but for my internet, absolutely.
But
No
not for
question about it.
content.
Yeah.
Content everybody will sell on their own. Look, one of the smartest bunch there is CBS. They've said all our new good stuff we're not putting on the television, on the regular television.
Oh, no, you know what they're doing, though? Turns out, all that stuff they're doing for CBS All Access, like they have the Star Trek Discovery, and the new Picard show is going to be on there, and there's a Good Wife type show on there. I don't know what it's called. They're going to start showing that on their network. Second run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for them. That's what they should do.
You know, and I mean, Discovery was a great show, so it might do well. And plus, what they're then able to do is to do very expensive programming for CBS All Access, and then eventually show it to the masses later on down the road, second run. So that's probably what's going to happen with
But that's
CBS.
essentially what Disney did. They gave it to somebody else.
Yeah.
If it's yours, you keep it.
And then they've got CBSN, which is their news operation.
I didn't know CBSN was a thing.
Yeah,
Is it?
and it's pretty damn good too.
So it's like CNN or MSNBC?
Yes, but nobody has an opinion.
I very much doubt that.
No, it's not opinion.
And where can I find CBSN? I never heard of
It's
it.
just an app. It's an app.
Oh, it's an app.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just go look up CBSN. You get it as an app, and I like their news better than I like the other
I
companies.
do like their news too.
Yeah, but
I
I
don't
mean-
know that I'm going to have an app just to watch their
But
news.
what they're doing with that also is that each of their local stations is going to be available on CBSN. All their news operations are going to have a 24/7 news operation for CBSN that's going to be on. So I can watch.
So I can watch, say, Channel 2 in New York. I can watch their Why Are Lemons Killing You? I can watch that?
Yes.
What they tell me at 11?
Right.
Why is your shoe size the wrong shoe size?
Yes, right,
Oh, now,
right,
See, now
right.
that's worth it.
Or-
I'll get CBSN.
Or
I'm on it.
I always loved it when they said something that will kill you. We'll tell you what
At
it is
11,
at
right.
11. Well, wait a minute. Tell me now
Yeah.
because maybe it will kill me before 11 o'clock.
Well, apparently they've been right because it hasn't killed you.
It hasn't killed me
So,
yet.
it's
but,
all right.
But everything else will. You know, at this age, you're going to get the call. Hey, did you hear Alex is dead?
No.
How are you gonna feel about
You've
that?
defeated the odds.
Don't say that.
You've
Where
gone
do
way past the odds. Don't worry about it.
I have to knock on wood, and all I have is fucking.
Everybody knows you're not going anywhere.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You
I
resist.
got the prostate cancer.
Yeah, okay. The guy with the robe and the Sith, he's been behind that door for years and years. Saying, "Come on, Alex."
With the scythe. Sith. What is a Sith? The Sith is that's one of the Jedi people.
The Star Wars guys.
Yeah.
But he's been knocking at your door for
Oh, I
years. You
feel-
say, "No, I'm not ready."
I feel when I wake up in the
Okay.
morning, he's always sitting there in the corner going, "Not today, but it's
Smoking
coming.
a
It's
cigarette.
coming. It's
Alex,
coming
come on with me, will you?
You know.
Will you please come with me?
Yeah.
No, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
You have this. You have the Gabnet.
Yeah,
.net.
Yeah, and then it becomes a big Woody Allen film, you know, to be following death through wherever.
Right. Yeah.
You know, well, it's just everybody I know is dying. You know,
I don't know. I'm not in that crowd. I don't know.
friends I've had who are dead. Bruce David,
Yeah.
one of my best friends. Roy Trumbull, my childhood friend, dead.
When did Roy die?
I mean, Dennis Hoff.
Oh, Dennis Hoff. Yeah.
Dennis Hoff.
But he went with a smile on his face.
I don't know if he went with a
Really?
smile on his face.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what happened there, you know? But he was young. He was like in his early 60s.
Maybe his competitor bumped him off. He was in an election, wasn't he?
It was an election. He won it.
Oh, did he win?
He won. At post-mortem, he won the election.
I think you better look into that. That's a little hinky, I think.
Yeah. So I can't remember what they did. I think they appointed somebody from that party because he was a Republican. Go figure. You know.
They'll take a win.
I never knew Dennis to have a political bone in his body, you know. But,
He had a bone in his body, though. No question about that.
no, he had a bone in other people's bodies. And I hadn't talked to him in a while, you know, and I haven't talked to him now in a while. So, But I mean, there's a guy who died, and I went, my God, the first one I ever had that went, okay, that really got to me was Paul Montgomery, who was the head of Play Incorporated, who was like, I guess, not only my best friend, but in this business, isn't it wonderful if there's a person who's going to help you make your creative dreams come true?
Yeah.
Because he backs what you want to do.
Yes.
That was Paul. Okay? And in the middle of backing me to this internet television network, which was coming along swimmingly, he fucking drops dead. And I'm left with these lame brain assholes who took over. We're all fighting for power in the company.
Yeah.
And, of course, what do they care about what I'm doing?
So what happened to the
Well,
whole
eventually
the whole
they
enterprise?
put me out to pasture, owing me $50,000.
And you collected that instantly, didn't you?
No,
I
it was
didn't
money
think so.
out of my own pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I got? I applied. You apply to the bankruptcy courts or whatever, because
Right.
they went. Did they go bankrupt? Something like that. Yeah, they went bankrupt. And somebody who had a lot of money in the company took over the major portion. But what happens is, if a company goes bankrupt and you have some claim against them, there's a certain pecking order.
Oh yes,
of
I know
who,
that.
Who
yes.
gets the
Right.
most money?
Right.
So they owed me $50,000 for rent that I had paid on the space that they were using for shows, and for a lot of other stuff that I put out money in advance that they were supposed to reimburse me. So I was out $50,000. How much do you think I got?
Let me see if I do the math right. Carry
Yeah, but
the
if you're
one.
gonna carry the one over the two.
0.
No.
You got money?
I got money.
Did you really?
Yep.
I couldn't even
How much?
make a guess.
How much? Just take a wild.
Couple of $100.
Yeah, 300.
Oh, really?
$300.
Okay.
I got 300.
And you put out how much for legal advice?
Oh no, we didn't have to pay any
Oh, you didn't have
legal
to
fees. No.
just a filing fee?
No, we just when a company goes bankrupt, you just automatically just file a claim against the company for money that they owe you. So, $300. Hey, don't spend it all in one place.
I just
Alex.
filed my Equifax claim
Oh, did you really?
on the breach, yeah. Because I was one of the people that was, of the thousands and thousands.
I
that-
may have been breached.
You should
but
look. The site is up now.
Yeah.
You can get $125.
Do I put my name in and it says whether
Yeah, you
I
put your name in and social security number, and it'll say, yes, you're part of the breach. And then you go to the next step, and it says you can put in the number of hours you spent to get a service to check your credit.
Mhm.
And I think if you have the right service to check your credit, or somebody
What
checks your
service
credit.
would check my credit?
There are services that keep an eye on your credit.
Well,
after
yeah,
that.
but I don't know who they are.
Well, but they're what like the ones you see on TV. We'll make sure you don't get breached,
Oh, really?
whatever that does.
No,
Yeah, but you
okay.
can get $25 an hour, up to I think 20 hours. So check it out. It's free money.
$125 an hour.
No, $25 an hour.
$25 an hour.
So if you researched an hour online about the Equifax thing, and then you put in an hour filing for the claim,
Yeah.
that's 2 hours right there. That's $50 in your pocket.
Okay, so can I lie about how much time I spent?
No, that would be a lie.
Did you lie?
No, I didn't lie.
How did you figure out how much?
Because
you
when
would
it happened,
you would have to have figured what, 5 hours?
that's what I figured. Yeah, when it happened, I spent a considerable amount of time looking up what the problem was.
Yeah.
And a considerable amount of time getting a company to keep an eye on my credit.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was somebody that they recommended and provided free service.
Mhm.
And I still have a credit monitoring service. And I spent the time filing, so it came out to about 5 hours.
So you're getting $125 back.
I filed for $125.
This credit.
should.
Have you ever tried Credit Karma?
No, I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I don't, because all the banks give you free credit now. Free credit
But if
checking.
you go over there, one of the services they provide, and you don't pay for this.
Mhm.
One of the services they provide is you may be owed money.
Oh, really?
By somebody. Like, let's say you had a, maybe a warranty or something. I don't know. I can't remember what I got paid for, but I got back a couple $100.
Oh,
was
really?
waiting for me. They said, yeah, you can claim 150 here, 25 there, and 30 there.
Credit Karma. I know you get their
Credit
service
Karma.
for nothing.
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
sign
Put
up.
in your name and who you are,
I like
and
that.
then they, if you go back to them a couple of times later, they'll say, "Well, hey, you've got some money waiting for you." It may have been like, sometimes you bought something, and they said if you mail this in, you'll get, we'll send you $25 or something like that because
No, I never.
to take $25 off the cost of what you bought. It was
Oh, a rebate.
A rebate.
Yeah, yeah.
And you
Oh,
just,
I've done a lot of those.
No, but you didn't do it. Let's say.
No, I do all my rebates.
Well, these were some rebates I hadn't remembered.
Oh, well, see, I do all my rebates. I get the money. I'm a cheapskate when it comes like that.
But I got all my rebates.
Okay, that's good.
And one of them, I think, was $250, and somebody else I know made a couple of thousand.
Just off rebates they didn't collect.
It's not just rebates;
Yeah.
it's other things that like there may have been a class action suit somewhere, and because you were considered part of it, you never collected.
But see, that's the point I'm getting to with Equifax. I don't skip those things. I check them out. I check all of them out.
You know what they got to worry about more than anything is people like you and me, because we don't have anything to do with our day.
Well,
But make
That's very
trouble.
true.
But make trouble.
that's very true.
Like I'm saying to all you people out there who have a business, don't fuck with old people, because they have nothing to do with their miserable, pathetic lives, and I'm one of them. Okay, all right, to do with them, then to do exactly what we're talking about.
That's right.
Just make trouble. So
And loving it.
well, here's what I always figured, that they should be very careful of old people.
Wait a minute,
Because
now hold on. Do I qualify as old people?
no,
now?
you don't yet.
Okay.
How old are you
Just
now?
checking. 57.
Fuck you. Anyway, you're 22 years younger than I
Right.
am. Wow. Jeez almighty. I don't even want to talk to you.
I'm 8 years away from
But here's the thing.
retiring.
Here's the thing. If they come after us and they try to get our Medicare,
Who's they?
the government,
Oh, the government.
Donald Trump, you've heard of him?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're at this point in our lives where we have things like terminal diseases, things like that.
You keep saying we. I'm a little concerned about that.
Well, because
You're talking about your group?
my age group.
Okay.
Okay. So if you fuck with us, since some of us have like terminal cancer, we could strap a bomb to our body and not give a shit, right?
Yeah, I'm not part of this thought process.
We could be
I'm not
very
getting this whole thought
powerful. We could be a
process.
very powerful lobby in this country by striking fear into the hearts of our governmental
no,
leaders.
See, the whole terrorist aspect of that, I don't.
Oh, you
care
don't like that,
I don't
huh?
care for that.
Nah,
no.
fuck you.
That's not my thing.
Fuck you.
I go on record of saying that. I'm not part of that whole.
I think it's wonderful. To tell you the truth.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, it's so what are you doing down there you're living in Florida?
I surf the web for things.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I surf,
No.
but then you
no,
would
but
stop there.
I swim several times a week. I go to the gym. I cook. Really, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah, pretty much. Not much more than that.
Do you miss the radio business?
Yeah, I miss the radio business.
Mhm.
How many years have I done that? A few decades.
I miss it
Sure.
too.
Yeah, well, but the radio
But
business.
I
ain't
look
what it used
around to
be.
see if there's a radio business, and there isn't one.
No, it's changed. So that's okay.
Plus
I
it-
miss it, but I don't say I'm bitter because it's not there anymore. It's changes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be a buggy whip maker and saying, "Oh, this is terrible." Things go on.
I mean, the closest I come to being in radio now is this podcast is on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, but I came into New York the other day
Yeah.
and I crossed the Triborough Bridge.
Tell them about you coming to New York.
I
please.
crossed. I'm not even going to tell that story. No, that's just bad travel. But I crossed the Triborough Bridge, and iHeartRadio has a massive electronic billboard with their logo on it and a ticker at the bottom. And on the bottom, they're promoting. Listen to the Chelsea Handler podcast. They're not even promoting the local radio stations they own in this city. They're promoting a podcast.
Is that the building?
So
is that building where I think it almost is an iHeartRadio building, and they have a sign on it, and they have a lot of stuff they.
No. Their building is downtown, but this is a big billboard right as you cross the Triborough Bridge, and they don't promote their local radio station. So that's an indicator to me that radio really has changed, and podcasting is what people are listening to.
It's a sign they've given up.
Or they can't make it work.
Here's the thing I don't get about why I'm not working now. Let me give you two instances, okay? In San Francisco, when I went to work at the Quake, a station called the Quake, they stole me away from another station called called KMEL,
right?
Camel, and but they couldn't steal me away by calling me because that would be interfering with the contractual blah blah blah. So they had to have a third party intercede and ask me if I would like to talk to these people and talk about going over there. And who was the middleman in this whole deal? Bob Pittman. Bob Pittman is now the head of iHeartRadio.
Yes,
He started MTV. When I got that call, it said Bob Pittman called, wants you to call him back. I went, they want me for MTV. And I call him up and he says, hey, listen, I got these friends in San Francisco and they want to talk to you. Would you be willing to talk to them, and so on. So that's my first brush with greatness. I should be able to call Bob Pittman up and say, hey Bob, I really would like to get back on radio.
Yeah, why don't you call him?
Okay. So then I went to work for a company called Entercom, okay, which at that time owned about a radio station and a half.
Right.
Okay, and one of them was in San Francisco. And a guy by the name of Joe Field ran the company. And he had the son, David Field, who he sent to San Francisco to kind of learn the business. And we kind of palled around with him and took care of him and made sure he was okay and taught him the business. And, you know, he would talk with the sales department. And he was, you know, we looked at him as the boss's kid.
Yeah.
All right? David Field is now the head of Entercom, one of the biggest radio outfits in the business.
Real radio.
Yeah.
AM, FM radio.
You think I can call him and get some work? I, in fact, was in contact with him, and I told him what I was doing here, and he said, well, good luck to you. And I made that company, that one station they had, I made them the most money they made of anybody in the whole chain. I bought radio stations for them.
They don't need you anymore.
They don't need me anymore.
Why are they going to bother?
So I say to myself, you know, I should be able to just call Bob Pittman and say, hey, Bob, remember me? Or, hey, Dave, hey, listen, you know all that money I made for you? Well, you can pay it back now. I just want I want to have a radio show on one of your little radio stations.
It's not about radio for them anymore.
No.
It's about podcasting, and not even that. It's about the music festivals and all this other stuff they promote.
Yeah.
I hear more promoting for that than I do for any radio
and yet
stuff.
iHeart has been on the edge of bankruptcy forever, and Cumulus, I don't know how they're even still in business. You know?
That's a poorly run company.
They sold most of their big things that they own.
That's right.
You know, here in New York,
Recently,
WPLJ is a good example of that. But I think wasn't there another station they sold too?
I think in Chicago or Detroit somewhere.
Yeah, in San Francisco they sold one too. Yeah, they sold KFOG.
And the ones that are still on the air, they're running into the ground.
Oh yeah.
So
no question about it. So anyway, well, you know, we have people out there who call this program. Let me just
show me the people.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to get the Skype going, and
I just come here to listen to the sound of Skype starting up. That's all I want.
Well, you know, you like hearing Skype start up.
That's all I come here for.
I see.
That's all I came to New York for.
By the way,
he
he is the new voice of GabNet. By the way.
Who?
You.
Oh, is that right?
Since Rob is kind of like retired.
I do 2 promos and now I'm the new voice?
Yeah, you're the new voice.
Can I put that on my resume?
You're the guy I can call whenever I need to do this.
Oh, okay.
So, anyway, somebody's calling here. Let me it's Jason. Why don't you come?
I know Jason.
Hold on a second, Jason. We'll be with you in just a second, okay? But I want you to come over.
Jason in Michigan?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Where am I going?
And Phil Meyer is calling. Hold on a second. People, I have to change things, okay? All right? Why don't you come over here and sit next to me?
Sit on Daddy's lap?
Yeah, sit on.
Take Marjorie's place.
Okay,
Do I need to
and
move this?
what?
Do I need to move
No,
this?
you don't need that. You can talk into this one. But now, wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Talking to Alex's
I
microphone.
gotta suddenly bring all these people in here. Let me do this first. Let's see here. You are 3. What's the name you're using, Jason?
Is it like 3 a.m.?
Yeah, that's it. Okay. And there's
Used to go to the 2 a.m.
There's Phil. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me just move you guys over. Okay.
Sit
Oh,
next.
okay. Let me see if I can get this thing to work. There we
Yeah,
go.
Albert, you actually might need to sit on his lap for us to
Huh?
see you.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah.
Hey, so Albert, Alex actually made you take the bus. He didn't go pick you up when your plane had to land early. You know.
Well,
What's the
nobody
story
made me
here?
take the bus. I was stupid enough to take the bus. It's hands down, without any thought at all, the worst travel experience I've ever had. And that doesn't mean I was really put out by it, but it was just very
It
uncomfortable.
was your version of
Hey.
trains, planes, and automobiles.
And I sat right
80
next to John Candy, by the way. 'Cause I sat right
Hey,
next to the fattest
80
guy on the
people
plane.
on a plane,
Yeah.
on a bus, and they were all using the same bathroom.
No, not me. I didn't get in
You
that
didn't go in
bathroom.
there?
Oh no.
No.
That's what the Joyce Kilmer rest stop on the Jersey Turnpike is for. That's
I
where
see.
I make my pee-pee.
The Joyce Kilmer, is there one?
That's I bet there is.
There, really?
That's how I knew I was close to New York. Joyce Kilmer.
Oh, wait a minute.
All right.
Here comes Dan. Let me just bring Dan in here. And let me see here. Let me put his picture in here. Let me see here.
How sophisticated. Look at this.
He's not there yet. Hold on a second. Cancel.
Hello.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Do we have a picture on you? We do have a picture on you, so we can then bring this in here. Let me see here.
It looks like somebody got a haircut.
Mr. Dan. Who, me?
Yeah,
Oh,
Alex.
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so nice, this haircut, that I decided to not wear the cap for a while until it starts growing
Well,
out.
that's what
looking
it
bad.
was. That because when I first saw you, I thought, boy, you really look different. And I've seen your hair that short. It's the cap that I'm missing.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I figure I kind of look better, don't I? Well, no, that's
I
kind of
like it. I like the bald look.
that's like saying this turd looks better than the other turd.
Well, what's Uncle Fester's real name?
That was what's his name? The kid actor.
Yeah.
Jackie Coogan.
Jackie Coogan.
Jackie Coogan.
Yeah.
Well, you know, hey, if you gained a few more pounds back, you'd look just like Jackie Coogan.
No, I wouldn't look just like Jackie Coogan.
Okay, he didn't have a beard.
Tuesday night, he'll have a light bulb in his mouth, and then we'll all be able to tell.
That's a funny idea. I should do that. I
Yeah.
should get one of those trick ones
the
that
trick light
actually
bulb,
light
yeah.
up. You know,
Yeah.
when you do it. But this is our citizen panel so
Beautiful.
far. That might be it. You know, for all we know. But anyway, how you guys doing?
Doing pretty well. Nice seeing Albert.
It's good to see you, Dan.
We met some. I think you should put Albert on Monday nights.
Hey, he's looking old too, though.
Who, me?
What
You
happened
love
to your hair, man?
You like the white hair?
Yeah, it like changed quick, huh?
I think because I go swimming a lot. I think that the chlorine is moving that out to white now. I'm not sure. That's my excuse anyway. But it's still here. Check it out. It's nice and fluffy. Come on.
I just realized the other day when my beard started growing out a little bit, I was like, holy shit, this year it all turned white.
Yeah, that's the first thing that gets white is the beard.
You gray from the bottom up.
Yeah.
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 Right in the center first, and then it goes out, and then the
Yeah, it
sideburns a
started
little
with
bit.
2 little lines right
Yeah.
here.
Now
and
you
then-
never grew any facial hair, did you?
Oh hell yeah! I had the horseshoe mustache.
Oh,
for a
yes,
while.
you did.
Yeah, for a
Yes.
long time.
Yeah, I
But
remember.
that really made me look old when it started to get
No,
real
what you
white.
looked like was like a member of the
Like
white,
Dan.
the white nationalists. That was their
You
kind
look
of
like me.
mustache.
Yeah,
Beg your
no.
pardon? The little swastika in my head didn't give it away?
No,
It was
no.
just the mustache, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I wonder if Charlie Manson ever said, "Gee, I'm really sorry I did this." with the forehead.
I don't think he said, "I'm sorry, I did anything."
Yeah, he's kind of like he's kind of very similar to Trump in that way.
Oh, he'll never say, "I'm sorry."
He'll never
Everything
say-
he did was right.
Yeah, exactly. By the
Trump
way,
is very similar to Trump. I mean, Trump is very similar to Charlie Manson because neither of them killed anybody.
That's
but they
right.
get others to
I
do
didn't
it.
kill nobody. Charlie Manson, famous for saying
but
that.
the thing is that about Albert is that he was the first guy I ever knew who could do an impression of Donald Trump.
It wasn't even an impression. Just
It
stringing
was-
a couple of words together.
And it was constant, but it was very funny, and we always did it because we thought he was just a hoot.
Yeah, he's not going to win. It's
Yeah.
just a goof. He's just this
Yeah.
goofy guy running for president. He's just the guy on The Apprentice.
Yeah, but
holy shit, were we wrong?
But you kept just saying one catchphrase over and over again.
Many people.
Many people
Many,
say.
many people say, "Believe me." That's another one.
Yeah.
That's
gotta
all you
get the
need was a
hands
couple of those
going.
things, right?
Yeah.
Or you got to get this one, and then this one, and then this one,
Yeah.
and then now you got to sweat because today.
Didn't
did
I
you see
say
his
you-
pictures
did you
today?
see him
Wow,
sweat today?
Nice.
Boy,
Nice
he
sweaty
was
mess.
spritzing.
Yeah.
He was. Oh boy. Oh, you're sorry, Phil. I know he's your hero.
Yeah. That's the way it goes. Our guy will come along. Well, not our guy because I'm not affiliated with a party, but another guy will come along, and you can make fun of that guy.
You can't say guy.
Or
It's gotta be a
gal.
person.
Gal. Can I say gal? Use the old timey word.
Ju-
Hashtag me
just-
too. I'm okay. Don't worry about it.
Just like it's not Latino anymore, it's Latinx.
So you're
Oof.
swimming. Is it in
Oof,
the ocean?
I take offense to that.
What,
Right?
Latinx?
Yeah.
So Albert, you say you're doing a lot of swimming.
Yeah, I do.
Is it in the ocean or in a
No,
pool?
it's a pool. I don't
Pool,
really care for
okay.
the ocean that much.
No.
I don't like the salt water, but the pool
Aren't they
I
having
love.
some issues in Florida? Red tide or?
That's
So-
going on all over the place. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go into the
This
ocean for
fake
anything.
global warming, flesh-eating bacteria virus or whatever the hell it is becoming more prevalent. But good thing global warming's fake.
Whatever's going to get me is going to get me. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it's nice to
Hey,
know. that
I'm
global
improving my carbon footprint. I'm now on a plant-based diet. You guys are the evil ones. Me being plant-based, I have less of a carbon footprint.
Are you a
You know,
vegan?
I'm on a
too?
plant-based
Well,
diet
I am
too.
now.
Here's how much we fucked up the carbon footprint. What do we have for dinner tonight?
Ribs.
Yeah.
Get all the-
Hey, Alex.
Yeah.
There's it's a Tony Romo's. It used to be a
Roma.
Tony
restaurant,
Roma.
right?
Tony Roma's
Tony
ribs.
Roma.
Right.
They have
Roma's.
like at Meijer, one of the grocery stores I go to.
Love Myers.
They have they're already cooked ribs. You put them in the oven for like 20 minutes. They
Yeah.
are so freaking good.
Really?
What do you got, Lloyd's?
What?
There's
No,
a company called Lloyd's that makes pre-cooked
He's talking
ribs.
about Tony Roma's pre-cooked.
Oh, Tony
ribs.
Roma's pre-cooked
Yeah,
ribs.
I
Yes, they
think
are
they
so
sell
good.
I think they sell those at Costco. And years ago, I tried them, and quite frankly, I just prefer to make them myself because I do such a better job than they do.
Great ribs. He made ribs
Is
tonight.
Tony
Great
Roma's
ribs.
restaurant still open?
Yes.
I remember there was
Yes.
one in Hawaii. There was one I used to go to in Palm Springs, and there was one in Beverly Hills.
There's one by
And-
me.
There is one by you?
Yes, they're still open.
Yeah, because all the other ones are closed.
See, I knew the name, but I'd never seen them.
Probably
if
what's
it was that
happened with
small.
what's probably happened with the ribs that come prepackaged for Tony Roma is they probably got the right to package.
It was named-
Licensing.
Yeah.
you know,
That's
they
it.
licensed it
Yeah,
out,
right.
and probably most of the stuff is licensing now rather than actually.
Undoubtedly, it's still.
Hell,
the,
whoever does it, they do a good
It's
rib.
still the illegal immigrants coming in, cutting up the pork at very low rates, being paid for that, and then they slap their name on it.
Cutting the
that's-
pork.
Alex,
Are they congressmen? What?
There's 685 jobs available in Mississippi right now. So if you're
Yes.
looking for work,
But the CEO job is still taken.
And
Yeah.
what
I'm not-
company
he's
is
an
that with?
immigrant. They'll get them.
What company are those jobs with? Because I never hear what company it's with.
There's some food preparation companies. I don't know that.
Coke Foods.
Give me the
All right,
names
wait
of
a
the
minute, wait a minute. Hold on a
companies.
second. Coke Foods, is that the Koch brothers?
It's not the Koch brothers, but
No?
it's Koch Foods.
Is that what they've said? Because I
thought
see
it
all the
was
reports.
several.
Brothers.
I never see
Cock Foods.
what the company is that's hiring all these illegal immigrants
Right,
that
you
are
know, and
being raided by ICE. Who are these companies? And
They need
why
to
are they
go
not
after-
getting
Mention their
penalties?
names
They
that
need
I
to go
know.
after the
That-
CEO.
what they've been doing
Shepherds.
is they've been showing on TV over and over again that little girl crying. You've seen that?
Yeah. Where's my daddy?
Yeah.
Well, what are you making fun
Where's
about
my
that?
daddy?
What are you making fun of that for?
Yeah, who's going to cook her
Because
dinner?
daddy is
Are
a
you going to
criminal.
say the little girl was a plant? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, I'm sure he's
They
going to say
found
that.
one little girl with "Where's my daddy?" and running it over and over again.
Hey,
you know,
Phil,
the
you know
next
what?
thing they'll
Phil.
ask you to do is donate money to Haiti. You know, with Bill Clinton.
Phil. I
Phil
just have
doesn't
to
raise
say-
his hand.
Yeah.
Jason, why don't even bother?
Jason?
I just have to say, Phil,
Go ahead,
you
Jason.
guys invaded our land a long time ago. How does it feel? We're invading you back.
Hey, you know, now you finally got a leader that'll stand up. To
We're
the
all
invasion.
standing up.
Yeah.
You know,
What do you got? Sombreros? You know,
No, but I mean,
we got
I
people
mean,
we're taking
you're
back
making
over the
fun,
country
you're
one
making fun of
daughter at a time.
that little girl, and
Hey, you have two daughters, don't you?
And what are you going to say? That she's like a plant? Is that what you're going to say? You know?
well, you always find one. Where's my daddy? You know, and it's probably not her daddy anyway.
Yeah.
Fake.
Yeah.
Fake news.
That's
not
fake
at all.
Oh, boy.
I don't know what
Excuse
Phil
me, everybody. If the
thinks.
Dan is the
excuse me,
daddy.
excuse me if the picture froze, but for some reason I did something wrong here.
It's
But
too
we're
much of a
we're
glare
fine
from
now.
the forehead.
We're
Charlie's
fine.
here.
Huh?
Charlie's here.
Charlie's here.
Hi, Charlie.
Yes, again.
See this? This is the DNA results. Dan is the daddy.
Yeah. But here's the
Okay.
thing.
Well-
Here's the thing. Are you going to say that little girl was a plant? Is that what you're going to say? That she was really? It wasn't the little
Right
girl.
now, everything
that,
is a
that
plant.
it was OAC playing a little girl.
And I said right now everything's a plant because I only juice green stuff. You know, broccoli.
Will you stop with that? We know that in about another month you're going to be back to eating
That's right.
pork and everything. Yes, Dan.
Yeah.
Yes, I wanted to ask you because the other night when we were talking about the shootings, you were talking about how the news media puts the cameras in their face and the microphones in their face. And today we have this little girl from the immigration raid. She's 11 years old, and they put the cameras in her face. But I think that maybe this is a
That's okay.
situation where we can get some good out of it because, you know, as bad as it is, it might be exploitive. But you know that I
Well,
heard that tape. It's pretty impactful.
I didn't see a network person there urging her on. You know, it was something she probably was just doing, and they caught it. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's capturing what's going on with real life. What are you, Al Jolson with that fucking glove?
What is that Mickey
He's
Mouse
missing a
hand?
blackface, but he'd put it on in a minute if you wanted him to.
Yeah.
You know that.
It's for touching photographs.
Yes, Jason.
Isn't there a butcher that starts with an S, like a really big meat processing plant or something in the Carolinas?
Yeah, Charlie
Wants-
McPherson.
I want to say
Nobody,
Swans. It's not Swans. It's something like that, though.
nobody
Swanson?
beats.
Swanson?
Nobody beats Charlie
Maybe it's
McPherson's
Swanson's.
meat.
You know, they basically had a deal with ICE for a long time that, like, every once in a while they would come through and do a raid on their plants. But at the same time, you know, they wouldn't say anything about the raids that they'd do on the plants, and they'd ship all these Mexicans back to Mexico. At the same time, they were advertising down in Mexico for jobs at the plant. So
Well,
they
no,
would
but
just
here-
ship them
here-
back,
here's-
get some new
here-
ones, and bust them up.
Here's the interesting note
But they
on
never
that
went
whole
after the
deal.
CEOs.
The interesting note on that whole deal is that they did this raid just before payday.
Yeah,
Yes,
convenient.
yes.
Guess who didn't have to get
I-
paid?
Now,
Genius.
Yeah.
I bet you they got their pay.
No, they didn't.
Yet.
They didn't.
I
get their pay.
had heard that there was a labor dispute, and the workers organized.
Huh.
And the
I heard that one,
CEO,
too.
I think he's like, we're not going to do that. So I'm going to call my buddy Trump, call
Don't
ICE,
throw
and
stones. Don't
get the
throw
stuff taken
stones
care of.
in a glass house.
Let me before we get into all of that, because we don't want to wind Phil up. God forbid we should do that.
Too late.
It's too late.
And by the way,
He's
more of you
already
out there can call because we've managed to put a certain muzzle on Phil, and he's been very good about it lately, and everybody gets their word in edgewise.
Would you threaten to call ICE on his employees to shut them up?
No, I threatened to call ICE on him.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, you know, Donald Trump is going against the grain when he's saying that he wants these background checks. He talked to Wayne LaPierre,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they said that they didn't support it. And then Trump said, they may not support it. They'll be kind of neutral with me, but we need these.
To begin with, you can imagine that the call with the head of the
NRA.
NRA was Pepe Le Pew. The conversation was something like, "Hey, listen, we got to make me look good, and we got to somehow get you guys off the hook. So why don't you just let me say we should go for the background checks, and it'll never happen anyway."
What are you, Karnak?
Yeah, something like that.
You know?
Huh?
Yeah, you know.
I'm not Karnak. I'm just logical.
Or gets voted on.
Well, let's ask Donald what he thinks.
No, I'm not doing that.
Many people.
That was a joke bit. It's not a joke anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we were always joking about Donald Trump, and we never figured that was a possibility. In fact, didn't we maybe at one time joke about, I wonder if he'll ever become president of the United States or something?
Well, the Simpsons joked about it, and look what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we ought to start joking about Bernie Sanders.
No, why don't you joke about
maybe he'll become
Trump's
the
third term?
president then. Trump's
Well,
third term?
Third term. Yeah, third term.
Yeah.
Well, if he gets to a
that's
second, he'll probably get a third because he'll change the rules all over the place.
Well, no, if he gets a second term, there won't be a need for a third term because he'll just obliterate
I'm
terms.
going to show you how
and
much
he'll just be dictator
I'm
for
gonna
life.
You guys want to end the First Amendment, the Second Amendment? Why not? What is it? 23rd?
Nobody said they want to end the First Amendment. We just want to enforce the Second Amendment.
I want to get rid of the whole fucking United States Constitution. It's an old document, needs to be rewritten.
It is
Well,
rewritten.
Trump
It's called
told you where you could go.
amendments.
Yeah, but the amendment, but they don't say, you know what happened when they had prohibition?
Yeah,
They made an amendment to create prohibition.
correct.
And then, in order to get rid of prohibition, they had to write another amendment to get rid of prohibition.
Right.
But it didn't all of a sudden, the prohibition amendment didn't like disappear at
No.
that point. It's still there.
Do you know what the amendment was that got rid of prohibition?
What?
I'm just curious if you knew.
Which
No, it
one?
wasn't-
The one that came after it? 19th.
there was one in between.
Prohibition lasted about 13 years.
I'm just trying to make a joke. I'm going to go celebrate that amendment. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hey, is my mic too hot?
No, it's fine. It's fine. But I mean, it's kind of interesting that. Here's the thing I wanted to ask, though. This is the big one. You've heard about Equinox, right?
Yeah,
Jim.
that's the guy that's throwing a party for Trump, and he owns a company that people like with a life cycle or something where they ride
there
on
are
these.
two companies that he owns: Soul Cycle and Equinox.
Right.
Guess where Marjorie goes to work out?
Soul Cycle.
No,
Or
Equinox.
Yeah.
And I said to her, I said, she's always sitting there and going, Trump's doing this and Trump's doing that and Trump's doing this and Trump's doing that and that motherfucker, cocksucker, blah, 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 blah. Are you going to quit Equinox? No, I need to work out. My what do you call it? Subscription or
Right.
whatever it is. My membership doesn't end until next February. I said, in February you're going to quit? Well, I don't think so. I said, how committed are you?
Hey, I go to Starbucks and I have no problem with that. Why, people say Chick-fil-A, no good because this guy doesn't like this. And now Soul Cycle and Equinox is no good because this guy's throwing a party for Trump. I don't think those things are legit.
Please don't call it Chick-fil-A because the Me Too movement will not like that.
Huh?
Chick-fil-A. Me Too
Oh,
movement
Me
might-
Too. Yeah.
Forget it. I did try.
Charlie's the constitutional scholar here. He's
Yes.
got the answer.
Let's
It
look
was
at.
the 18th Amendment that prohibited liquor, and it was the 21st Amendment that repealed the 18th Amendment.
And
What came in
Amendment.
between those?
And what's the one that says a president can only have 2 terms?
That's the 22nd Amendment.
And that's going to be repealed by which one?
by probably Donald Trump by an executive order.
Wait a minute. Yeah, well, that amendment had to happen after FDR, obviously.
Right. So how many amendments are there now? 25?
There's 27.
27.
Boy, you've got the Constitution at home.
The Constitution of the United States. I keep
That's
it
the
right
that's
here.
Mao's red book.
Yeah, why is it red? That's kind of interesting.
I have a blue copy too. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
it
okay.
just happened. That's what they printed that day.
Yeah.
He's holding up the good old Republican red Constitution.
Well, what do you guys think
The
about
blue one
this?
has no
What do you
amendments.
think about this whole Equinox thing? I mean, tonight the guy who owns Equinox was holding a party out on Long Island where Donald Trump was going to show up to raise money for the Trump campaign. Okay?
Yeah, $250K a piece if you wanted to sit at the table with Trump, and I think $100K if you just wanted to get a picture with
How
him.
about if you want to be as far away from him as is humanly possible?
Cost you nothing.
Hey, and that blue baby in El Paso, Texas got a great deal. Got a picture for free.
Yeah, right.
They'll send them a tax bill.
All right.
Yeah.
I say lock them up.
$10.99.
Lock him up. Lock him up. Yeah. Yeah.
Lock him up. Lock him up.
Yeah.
No,
But
just put a lock on all of his establishments.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
mean,
Here comes Tony.
Hey,
Hold on.
Epstein's cronies are getting beat up by someone that says that she was a sex slave
Yeah.
for Epstein and that she made it with
Why
a bunch
do you
of.
bring up Epstein, Phil? Because you know Epstein is going to lead right to your guy Trump.
Actually, the girl that is claiming that she was a sex slave said that she never had sex with Trump, that Trump was on the plane, and that she never saw Trump have sex with anyone. So, and this is the one she's suing
Oh,
Epstein.
I've never seen Trump
But,
have sex
yeah,
with
she
anyone
never saw
either.
it.
But
Doesn't mean it
You've
didn't
never
happen.
seen
Penis was
anyone.
so small.
You've never seen anyone have sex, including yourself.
Well,
You know.
I'm like
Or
six,
with yourself.
I'm like 6 degrees of separation from Epstein, in that my dear friend Bobby Slayton always used to come to New York, and he had a friend here in New York who owned an apartment building, and he had an apartment that he left open so that friends could stay at this apartment. And he was good friends with Woody Allen and introduced Bobby to Woody Allen, and his name was Epstein.
Now you're gonna have to put him
yeah.
up.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what?
Yes.
You're Epstein's neighbor. You know,
What do you mean
He lives in
I'm his-
Manhattan. You live in Manhattan.
Well, he's also Trump's neighbor. He's also
Well,
you
no,
know,
Trump
Bill
lives
de
in Washington.
Blasio's neighbor. Huh?
That's true. I'm sure he's de Blasio's neighbor.
Yeah. Well,
Won't you be my neighbor, Mr. Rogers?
yeah. Well, I think we should just let Epstein go if he promises never to do it again.
I think that Clinton and a bunch of the Dems are going to go down with the Epstein thing.
I wouldn't use the term
That's
go
not surprising.
down. I wouldn't use the term go down. It's not.
well,
Hey,
wait
you
and
know-
see, and
My shooting club, not the one I belong to, but the one that has the 14 clubs in it, the main club, issued a memo today that the word shooter should be stricken from photography speak. Now, as a photographer, you say, I'm going out on a shoot. Well, they said you shouldn't say that. You should say, I'm going to capture an image.
Oh,
not-
Jesus
not gonna-
Christ.
Yeah, that was today on.
Well,
I get an email.
And
that's what I said. Come on.
There's an old argument I used to make about the word fuck, and that it should be allowed to be said in broadcasting and anywhere possible, because it is a singularly exclusive word. It is the only word you can use to describe that act in one word. Okay? Everything else you have to go make love, have sex, whatever. Fuck is, am I right? I can't think of any other word
It's a
better than
reach.
fuck to say.
Bang?
Huh?
Bang? Screw?
Nah,
how can you argue with that
Hey,
logic?
when
Bone?
I still could, I would say to my girlfriend,
Boff?
Boff?
you want to fuck? And she says, no. We got to make love. I don't fuck.
You got the wrong
You know?
girl.
No, I think you
got the wrong
added on
boring
all
girl,
the
buddy.
rest. I think she just said no.
Yeah.
No, that was the first wife.
Well, I think you make love to a woman when you just want to get her to fuck you. You know.
Probably true.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But
At least you bring flowers, chocolate, and you take them to dinner, you know.
Really? Is there such a thing? Do you take them to dinner and buy them chocolates and flowers?
If you look like me, you do. If,
Usually-
you like some of the other guys,
Usually
you know,
my-
all they have to do is stand there.
Well, my policy always was I would send them flowers and chocolates after I had sex with them.
Yeah.
Okay?
Shit,
as
sent
a
me flowers
bonus.
and
Thank you
chocolates.
gift.
It's a thank you gift.
So did Epstein. Epstein usually left 300 on the table.
That's right.
Look, you know,
That's
to
right.
begin with, we don't know what the story is with Epstein. I mean, I'm sure it's nothing good. But Bobby said to me, I was surprised as hell to find out about him.
Didn't he know his
said because
exploits in
there
Florida?
was never a hint of it when I was around him.
But I thought he had exploits in Florida. What was it, several years ago? And that's what he was convicted of.
But Bobby knew him
And-
in Florida. He used to come out to see him play at the clubs down there. You know, that's how Epstein was a fan of Bobby's, and that's why when Bobby always used to say to me, "I'm coming to New York, and I'm staying at this friend's place." Okay, and I didn't know the friend was Epstein. You know.
Yeah, who would have thought?
And he said that he was very surprised, and in fact, so was Woody. Was very surprised, but wanted to stay as
that's what
far
he
away
says.
wanted to stay.
Doesn't Woody have a record of his own?
Well, no, he wanted to
No.
stay as
Yeah.
he wanted to stay as far away from that situation as possible because of all the the shit he went through.
Wow.
And I'm sure Woody didn't use Epstein to get laid.
no, he had his own daughter.
Oh shit!
Wow.
It wasn't his daughter. It
Stepdaughter.
was his stepdaughter.
Right.
It was one of the flotsam and
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, that's what the
flotsam and
titles
jetsam
usually
of
are.
the world that Mia Farrow seemed to collect like so many pennies.
No, she was adopted.
Who, Mia Farrow?
No, the daughter.
But she was adopted by Andre Previn and Mia Farrow, not by
Right.
Woody Allen
Right.
and Mia Farrow.
Correct. She was adopted by Mia Farrow. It wasn't the Flotsam and Jetsam.
Well,
that
no.
was-
How many kids did she have? That she was just taking kids off the streets from around the
She's
world.
the original Madonna.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Why
She's,
am I seeing a fan where I should be
Oh,
seeing
my
Dan?
fan back on it again. I just
His phone fell.
This whole idea of a citizen panel really sucks. Yeah.
That was a phone fail. Phone fail.
A phone fail? Oh,
I do now.
yeah. There you go. That's
Beautiful.
much better. That's much better. There
Oh, do you have Snoopy sheets?
No, I don't have.
Are those
sheets. I
Snoopy?
have green sheets.
They look like Snoopy. You know.
You really should they do have a thing now where you can blur out your background.
Right.
Not on his phone.
And
Yeah.
I would
Everybody
suggest
talk
it.
about my
Right now, I
background, my
would suggest
spray
it
bottles.
for you and for
I
Tony.
have Snoopy
I would
sheets.
suggest it for you and for Tony because we're seeing that wallpaper again.
I like the
No.
wallpaper, Tony.
You what?
I do.
You'll love the paneling. We got a new sofa for her.
By the way, I was talking to my wife. What's her name? What's her name?
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend, Marjorie.
Marjorie.
About you tonight because there was an ad on TV that says, when life got me down and I was getting older and I needed help, and now I have somebody here that's all the time to help me, and then it's my daughter and she's getting paid to take care of me,
That's me.
and that's you.
I know, she knows me.
I said, no, that's what Tony's doing. He says, how much does he make? And I said, I don't know, and I came up with anywhere between $35,000 and $50,000 a year. Is that what you
Well,
get paid?
I'm getting 20 an hour, but then I get overtime of 8 hours a week. It built in. I can't go past 48 hours.
Okay, and how much does that come out to then?
20 an hour times 48.
Yeah, so I
plus
get
time and a half on
So I'm getting
8.
800 straight up, and then 30 an hour times 8 is what, 240?
Yeah.
So I'm getting 8, 9, 10, 11, about 1140, almost
50 grand a year.
Yeah.
$1,100 a week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
A week. So how much is that a year, Phil?
That's over 50 grand.
yeah.
You're making
Yeah.
over
And
50.
of course,
1,000 is 52 grand.
I mean, I'm not coming home with that. Then Uncle Sam comes in, and in 3 months I get full insurance.
You get health insurance as well.
Yeah.
Did I tell her? Did I tell her 50 grand?
Hey, Albert,
She thought it was
you
close to
can
30.
take care of Alex and make
I'll
50.
do
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Your wife can do that.
I took care of my mom for 2 years. Where's my money?
No, you
Tony, how do I get this money? Tony
You're
left.
not in New York.
I don't think it necessarily has to be a relative. It can just be somebody you designate that you want to have take care of you. Oh my God, we're stuck with the fucking wallpaper. Look at that. We're stuck with the
find
fucking
some old
wallpaper.
person, take care of him.
Well, I won't be doing it. I won't be taking care of you.
You won't be?
No, because I'll start drooling and have my wife take care of me. So she's going to get the money.
Oh,
And
okay.
you're going to have to find your own caretaker.
Do you think you're going to wind up drooling?
Oh, I do it now.
Oh, I see.
I
Okay.
do it now.
And Alex, you know what I do get too? They call me today, the city, my contact in the city, like I guess my manager. Every hour I get almost every week I accumulate PTO, paid time off. So every week it's about almost 4.5 hours a week for your time off. So I'm getting like 2 days off a month, a little over 2 days off in the bank. And you can carry days over too, or you can cash them out and get
but
paid.
you can also use that just to take a vacation, right?
Yeah, take a vacation.
And while you're
yeah.
gone, what happens
And
to
the
your mother?
city doesn't
she,
have
she
any
just
money.
swallows her own vomit. What happens with your mother
No,
when
you know
you're
what
gone?
happens?
Yeah,
Exactly.
when you're on
Yeah.
vacation,
They're
you're at the
going
beach.
to go to a film con, right? Which I would like to do.
Just put her in the closet.
No, my sister's my backup. So she's already enrolled. She went to the drug testing and everything. So when my sister, if I put in, like I'll give them, say, 3 months in advance, I need 3 days off, right? And then my sister will be my backup and be at the house. And then she punches in with her ID and all that, and she covers for me while I get paid.
What? Say this about drug testing again? There's
Yeah, I
that's
had
a
to
flaw
go
in the
full-
system there.
Yeah,
you know
for
what I
you
do?
there
Well,
is.
that's no good. That's no good. You have to get drug tested for
But
this?
What happened is I was in Flushing getting drug tests. My sister took me there, and you have to do the blood work, full physical. So I was fine. I'm not on any medication. There was a guy who says when you had to go take the pee, one of the guys got up and walked out. He was on drugs. I said he's leaving.
really?
He wouldn't even go to the pee test.
Now, who
I
gives
should've
you this
sold my
money?
urine.
Who's paying you to do this?
Should've sold my urine.
It's the city of New York.
The city of
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah.
Is that the only
were
city that does
Blasio.
this?
I could have been getting paid for
You had
my
to take
take care of my mom.
You're in the
Where do
wrong
you
state.
live?
It took like 3 months. I had to get cleared. They even fingerprinted me.
Yeah, that I
And-
believe.
So
and
Well, we
Dan,
got drug
you
tested
smoke
at
pot,
the
Dan.
state.
I never did
So
anything.
everybody-
because
you-
I'm getting a
Dan smokes pot, so he would have been disqualified.
Now,
Can't take care of
The guy got
himself.
up and left, Phil.
let
We
me
would do
let me
pee
ask you
test.
this question though, Tony.
Yeah.
You have to work 40 hours a week plus
Yes.
the 8
Plus
overtime.
the 8 hours, yes.
How do you prove that you actually worked that? That you just
Oh,
didn't
you're gonna
like-
laugh at this. You know what I do?
His
Ollie?
sister has
What?
to approve it.
I call in from the, and I can and I just call out. That's it. As long as it's from this phone. So I'm home all the time. But say if I'm running at the store, so I have to call in and call out, and my time straight. They don't even check up. She checks up on me once in a while. They'll call
You
myself.
have to wear an ankle
So I
bracelet.
can actually be. I could be by Shecky's house, say at 1 o'clock, and say, "Oh, I got to punch out at 3," and my sister's watching my mom, and I'll just come home as long. I'm not leaving her by herself. But they don't even check on me really.
So you're
like,
admitting
your
to
mom is the
fraud
only patient.
on the internet here? That's not a good idea.
No, just don't say no. I don't think they catch you.
Hey,
but I mean, I don't
Tony,
for a long-
I'm
more than a
going
half
to
hour.
recommend to de Blasio that he get you an ankle bracelet so they can monitor where you are.
I would, but no joke. I would never leave. Like if I go out for an hour, I'll have my neighbor
By the
watch
way-
her. She's okay for an hour. But if I went away for 3 hours, which I won't do, then I would have somebody cover for me.
You
like a
break
brother.
up every now and then, but you should move your machine
Yeah,
back
go
to
be-
where it was. Yeah,
Oh,
because
when you
then
the other
We
day,
want to
yeah.
see the new sofa.
This is the sofa.
yeah, the new sofa. Wait a minute, turn the
And you
lights
threw
on.
the old sofa out, just like an old sofa.
Oh, there we go. There's the wood
Oh, it's
paneling.
beautiful.
Huh? Huh?
That's much
beautiful.
Boy, who furnished?
Raymond, yeah.
That's the
They
set
even
of that
require-
70s
they
show,
sleep
isn't
in
it?
it.
Yeah, I think so.
What's
yeah.
Radors? You bought that at
Raymond
Radors?
Mechanic.
Who?
I had to tip the guy 100 to take the old couch out. He wouldn't do it. I says, buddy, you're taking this.
Wait a minute. Now you're really breaking up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm in
Went
front
for
of
the
the
Wi-Fi.
route. Maybe I should call you back.
Where's the router?
Right in front of me over here by my Nintendo.
Oh, well, it's okay.
My
Now. It's okay
Nintendo.
now. What,
Not
don't,
even
don't do
my
that. Don't
Nintendo.
do that. You look.
I actually got the Switch.
You're
It's
looking
pretty
like
cool.
Stevie Wonder when you do that. You know.
Hey,
Any better?
Tony. So, like, your only patient is your mom, right?
Yeah, they won't let you get anybody else because of my hours. Like if you want, like if the lady told me down the road we can extend your hours. Would you want to help somebody else in the area? I don't really want to do it because I'm already working 48 hours.
Okay, but let me ask you this: like,
Yeah.
say heaven forbid your mom passes away, would you want to
Okay.
continue to do that and help somebody
You
else?
know what? I think I would because I'm actually really getting fulfillment out of it. I mean, I help some of the old people around my area here. Like I was watching a lady who somebody asked me, can you keep, he couldn't make it home. So I was there an hour or two. I kind of like it because the old people know you in the area. They don't really they don't trust anybody.
So wiping somebody's ass
Trust.
is better. Wiping somebody's ass is better than folding hat boxes.
Yeah, I mean, I actually,
It pays
I'm not
better,
joking.
and it's not as hot.
I actually enjoy it because I have patience with
Yeah.
them. So it's like, I feel kind of fulfilled by it, really. I mean, she drives me a little crazy, but I'll make jokes and stuff. So sure.
I don't know who would drive who more crazy.
She-
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Your mother driving you crazy, or you driving her crazy?
I think I drive her crazy.
Hey,
because I tell her
Alex, I
stories.
think you only have a couple of more years to find out. Tony will be over there wiping your ass, and you'll be able to find out.
Yeah.
But he'll bring a hat
Get
box.
him out of here. I can't take
Can you take on other
Yeah.
clients? Are you allowed to
That's
take on
what's
other
happening.
clients?
In the future, if they extend me, then I could. It's up to me, though.
Yeah.
Like I have a
up
couple
to
of people around the area who are looking for people like off the books. They're like, one guy asked me, he says, "Would you want to watch my dad like for 3 hours on a Sunday?" I may do it in the fall. I mean, I don't know. It's up to me, really.
Well,
I don't-
like right now, I feel I have to, because of the ribs, I have to go to the bathroom, and I will have the trots, and I could use somebody like you to wipe my ass.
I mean,
Use baby wipes,
I
or
can
you
make lunch
just
out.
get
I
out
think you
there
could.
with? Hey, do you use the baby wipes, or you just get out there with the straight paper? The Charmin.
The brown paper towel.
Is this not?
I'm uncomfortable with this conversation.
Are you really?
Yes.
Why? What makes you uncomfortable?
You're talking about wiping people's asses.
Yeah,
That makes
I
me
don't wipe
uncomfortable.
them.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
let's face it. If we live long enough, if I live long enough, and you live long enough, we're going to need somebody to do that.
But I'm not wiping anybody's ass.
No,
I'll
you're
tell
not.
you right now.
I'm not asking you to.
Okay.
We're
Hey,
for
asking.
52
We're asking
grand a year?
Tony. Who would you rather have wipe your ass? Some
So,
stranger or
Dr.
Tony?
Borky.
So you're saying Tony's an ass wipe?
Well,
We're
he's-
not ass wipes, but Tony's an ass wipe.
He is a.
No, I'm asking him
hold
what
on
he
a second.
uses to
Wait a minute.
wipe
Hold
the
on a
ass.
second. He
My
is a
sister
trained
does it too.
ass
Trained
wiper.
ass wipe, right?
He's a-
Certified ass wipe. Tony.
And drug free.
and
Drug
drug
If I ever
free.
get
Right.
to that point,
Totally
pull the
safe.
plug.
Take a
You don't
drug
have to
test.
find any of the valuables with me.
I would
Wipe
actually like
that.
the person who takes care of me to be high though.
Tony, what is the extent? I mean, what is the extent, the worst thing, the craziest thing that you might have to do or you have done
But my mom,
in the service? Yeah, because I have friends whose
I'll be
parents are
very
older,
honest.
and they
'Cause-
they wash them and they clean them, but I don't know what
Yeah.
the extent is.
like to what extent so far, my mom, I'll be honest.
You're breaking up again.
He does that on
My
purpose.
she had an accident because she was sick, like she had a cold in the stomach. So I did have to actually really wipe behind me and clean her.
Yeah.
Which is, I felt bad because she was upset. I said, "Mom, don't worry about it," because my sister was in school at the time.
By the way,
So, but usually my sister handles that.
Okay. By the way, take your laptop and just kind of move it a little bit. Turn it in another direction, because you're still breaking up.
I know. I don't know why the files is
Do
shitty.
you have a cable that you can run from the laptop to the router?
No, I don't have a longer one. I'd get a direct connect.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to
Maybe
do
I'm
that
gonna
next
try
time and
close back.
tilt your thing down, your camera.
Yeah. Well, you look
What are
like
you doing, man?
Kilroy was here. You know. Yeah.
Gilroy was
I mean,
here.
at least we.
Oh, it's getting worse. You know what I'm
Yeah,
gonna do?
yeah, it is.
I'm gonna reconnect. I'm gonna call you back.
Okay, call me
All right.
back. All right. Well.
So, hey, Albert,
Yeah.
you always used
Lock
to make
them
fun of
quick.
me about the beer I drank.
What are you
See
drinking?
this one?
Mas Agave. I made fun of
Pretty
that.
good.
What did you used
No.
to drink?
Coors Light.
Oh yeah, well that's garbage.
Didn't they say that Dos Equis, that they were putting pee in it at one time? The guys from Coors said that Dos Equis, the double X's,
Yeah.
Sure, and Carpet 2 says that Carpet 1 is just lining their carpets with pubic hair.
No, it's true. It's
Man
true.
in the world.
There was a thing. There was something running around where a rumor where they said that they were doing that.
Now
I
here,
know it's not true,
By
but
the way, we are being
it's-
joined now from Kuala Lumpur by Bree. Hello,
Hello.
Bree. Say hello so we can see your picture. Okay.
Hello, hello.
Hi,
Can you
Bree.
hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, we can
Can
hear
you
you.
hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me just
Right.
let me do this so that people can see you. Bree is in.
I wish that I knew there was a way to get a hold of Ren because she always complains, but I didn't know Albert was on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you got to watch Gabnet every night, and you got to
That's
watch
right.
you got to watch the Ramble every night.
And by the way, if you haven't called it in a long time, I don't see why I should let Rin call just to talk to Albert.
Because you should.
Oh, because I should.
Because you should.
Right?
All right.
It's a nice thing to do.
All right.
he'll let anybody on but Doug.
Well, she calls Damien's show.
No, she lets
Yeah.
him on.
Huh?
I say
no,
you
no.
let Doug on once in a while.
Doug was on last time I was here.
You really?
Yes, he
Yeah.
was on.
And then I think a few nights later I had to dump him again.
I'm not surprised.
You know. Yeah.
I'm just.
Huh? So anyway, you're better
I'm
now.
just
But
looking.
Tony.
Tony
I just
never
got the
answered the
photo.
question I asked.
What was
Yeah.
the question?
Oh no, he did. No, he did. He did.
What?
About what kind of stuff would you do? Because I don't know
Well,
anything
I
about
prefer
what
to
the
know
stuff
that
is.
if he were going to wipe my ass, what he would do it with. Is he going to use those
Oh, you know what I would do?
those wet
I would
wipes
use
or
the, baby wipes.
baby
That's what I
wipes?
use.
See, he's a professional.
Okay, yeah.
He knows
Yeah.
this stuff.
Do you
I
flush
want you to get a
or do
rash
you
or not.
put them in a
You don't want
can?
to get a rash.
Do you flush them or do you
You
put
put
them
on
in a
top
can?
shelf. I don't want to get a. You don't want to get a rash. Then you're gonna get all red.
Right.
Yeah.
That's considerate.
Do you have?
Yeah,
Can I
I
ask you
lost
this,
sight with
Tony? Can I just ask you this? This is not. Oh God, I shouldn't ask this
Yeah.
question. Do you ever have to do this for your mother?
Yeah, that's what he
Well,
said.
that's what he's talking about.
Okay.
One time I had to. My sister usually does that though, but she couldn't make it in time because she had an accident.
Hey,
She had like a
Tony,
cold.
just push her down the stairs and
Oh,
leave her
see?
there. You just keep calling in. You'll get
That's-
paid.
That's
You
not
know?
good.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
You don't go down there
But-
anymore. Anyway.
Tony, I have to say, I really do admire what you're doing. Money or not, that's a. I mean, these are your parents. This is your family. This is what you do for people. And I'm going to tell you, I think that's a great thing you're doing.
I feel good
You do it in
about
Japan.
Huh?
You know,
Japan?
Japan, they take care of the
Sounds like
old
they'll go to
people.
sleep.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know who I want to talk to here for a moment is Bree. Okay,
Yeah.
because we haven't talked to him in a couple of days. How are things going in your move to Kuala Lumpur? And
It's going well. I'm still living in the student dorm,
Mhm.
but I just got pictures today of the new house,
Mhm.
and so it's looking good. And I have to move in on Wednesday night. I will pay the money, and then we'll move it on Thursday. But it's a lot of money up front, and I don't really have a way to access my money. So I asked my employer to reimburse me for the move, and they're moving as quick as they can to try to get that done.
yeah, why
When
can't
will
you?
your
Why
family
can't
join
you
you?
lay your hands on your money? I mean, it's
I
your
can
money.
show you a picture of the house.
Yeah.
Oops, I'm sorry. I don't know what.
That's
the heck?
the Burj Khalifa.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Well, that's his house, the Burj Khalifa. Well,
There's
okay.
the house.
Oh, it's nice.
Very nice.
Okay,
Oh, nice.
wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me everybody
I
be
can,
quiet. Let Bree talk.
so
Say
there's
something,
the-
Bree. Say something. Yeah.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
So this is the house. Yeah.
That's
And
nice.
We're getting a new washer, a new dryer.
Oh, I
new
thought you were. I
refrigerator,
thought you were
a little
living in the
Living in the
washer and
washer.
dryer. Yeah.
smaller.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
That's very
Washer
nice.
and dryer.
It's very
Comes
nice.
with a motorcycle.
Beautiful.
Yeah, well, that's one of the workers.
Now, is that an apartment house or is that an actual house that you're moving?
It
into?
is called a semi-D.
Semi-detached.
So it's a townhouse.
That's
Share
right.
a wall.
Yeah.
Duplex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the back wall. The back wall we share, and then
Just one other unit, or
Now,
Yeah,
I
and
think I asked
right
you this
now it's empty.
before. Do you pay monthly or for the year?
Here you pay monthly.
Okay.
For
Yeah.
those of us who don't know the backstory, what's the quick backstory on why you're in Kuala Lumpur?
Well, I accepted a job here.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I was in Singapore and then over to Dubai, and it was time to go. I had sort of plateaued there, I felt, and I was looking for new challenges. Here, I will be an administrator, so I'm adding administration duties.
Okay.
Basically, my first week, all I do, I go to meetings and I sign things and I listen to people's issues. That's what I've been doing.
Good.
No, that's good. Yeah. Anyway.
That's just so nuts. I'd worry so much about changing jobs because I've had the same job for like almost 20 years.
That's unheard of now.
You work for who? You work for AT&T, right?
I work for one of the largest communication companies in America. I cannot confirm or deny the name of the company.
Yeah.
Really? Are you afraid of
Are you?
Retaliation? No, I am not.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you this, Jason. Is there any chance, I don't know what company you work for, that you're going to be able to get complimentary HBO?
Maybe.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
I'm worried that my DirecTV discount might go away.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Don't they own DirecTV too? No.
Yeah, they do.
But they might be trying to sell it.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Oh, they're divesting.
So, Bree, is your family in Kuala Lumpur right now, or are they still in the States?
Yeah. No, they're here.
Are they staying in the youth hostel?
It's dorm rooms.
Oh.
Yeah. And the last thing you want to do is have to stay with hostile youth. So, that's not.
Is there a sound effect button for
that?
No, I don't.
I feel like I'm back in
Wait a minute. I think
college,
Phil, do you have your rim shot out there?
But don't.
No, I haven't hooked that up.
Oh, okay.
You need a bigger
Since I
budget
got
for
the
the
new
show.
board,
Well,
I
you remember I used to tell you
Yeah.
that my main rule, if I had a rule, it was no rim shots.
No cheesy sound effects.
No cheesy sound effects, but especially no rim
Albert
shots.
sound effects.
Because that was always a morning show's way of saying, this is a joke.
Yeah. This is funny. Laugh now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Alex just holds up a card and says, "Laugh."
Yeah, something like that. Oh, boy. Those ribs are starting to back up on me, I think. I think I can hold it till we get off the air here. But if not, Tony's there. He can run right over and wipe my ass.
By the way, Tony's not there. He's on the way over now.
Oh, he is. Oh, look at that.
It's an empty chair there.
Do you like that wallpaper?
That's beautiful.
Is that not? That's wallpaper straight out of Psycho.
Yeah.
That's why Norman Bates went crazy.
Have you seen Mom at all?
Huh?
Have you seen Mom?
No, I haven't.
Oh, we've never seen Mom.
We've never
Yeah.
seen
There
it.
you go.
Yeah.
It's like Norman Bates, huh?
Yeah.
What's a Big Bang Theory? The guy's mom you never saw, you only heard her.
Right.
Yeah. She died, by the way.
Lynn Samuels.
Lynn Samuels. Yeah.
Sorry.
How is Lynn, by the way?
She's doing about the same as that guy's mom on TV.
She's still dead?
Still dead, right?
Oh, okay. I'm happy.
Yeah, Lynn died.
I'm happy to know that.
No, she's just doing show prep.
I never listened to her.
I did all the time.
There were all these people who were mourning over Lynn Samuels, but they didn't know her like I did. She hated me, didn't
Yeah,
she?
She didn't like you at all.
She hated me, and did I do anything to her?
I don't think so.
Did I ever put her down on the air or do anything like that?
Yes.
But she,
Not that
no, I didn't.
No?
I did
Not
not.
that I know of.
Jason, tell me when I did.
I can't name the date, but I think you just kind of complained about her complaining about you.
Oh, that I
Yeah.
complained
yeah.
about.
Calling her a
Well,
bitch.
that's
No, I don't think I called her a bitch, but I complained about her complaining about me and saying, come on, we all work for the same outfit,
How long did you listen, Jason? From the start?
Probably not right from the start, but I'd listened for quite a few years.
Yeah.
I listened to Nina Ballerina quite a few times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
and in the latter years, she really liked Keane. She played Somewhere Only we know or something all the time.
Yeah,
Keen the band?
Well,
Yeah.
let me tell you how much that woman was loved and adored.
She was dead for like 2 or 3 days.
Wait a minute. Yeah,
No.
to begin with, she was
No,
dead
she
for
was
about
not.
2 days before.
No, she was not. She didn't show up for work.
Right.
Right, and they called up and they found out within a few hours.
No, they called up and the police went.
Right, but it wasn't a few days.
And there was no answer at the door, so they broke it down, and she was dead inside, and she had been dead for like a day or two.
No, not that long.
Anyway,
I thought it was a day or two. I thought she was cold.
To show you how much this woman was loved,
It's starting
they
to
said to
stink.
me, Alex, you're going to do a Lynn Samuels memorial on your show.
And you said, "Is there another Lynn Samuels that I don't know about?"
I said, "Is there another satellite company I can go to work for?" So I said, "Okay, I will do my very best," And I was very honest about it on the show. I said, she never had any great love for me, but she's going to be missed. I think she was a real talent, which I convinced myself to believe.
Then you have the Lynn Samuels prep sheet.
Wait a minute. So they say we have Lynn's sister on line 2.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right? And so I pick it up and I go, and it went something like this. I said, we have Lynn Samuels' sister here. What is one of your memories of Lynn? And she said, what a miserable human being she was.
She wasn't an easy person to get along with.
Well, this is her sister.
I didn't know that just by listening to her. She was a cantankerous, mean old bitch, wasn't she?
Yes, she was. And because I had to personally deal with her up in the offices sometimes. She did not like me at all, and I'd done nothing to her.
And she didn't like me, and I'd done nothing to her.
She was just a miserable person.
In fact, I think you will have to agree that I actually respected her all the time when I was in her presence.
I think so, yeah.
I was always nice to her. She would say nasty things to me, and I would still continue to be nice. She was a fucking cunt. She was really something.
Such a lazy ass. Can't even take the time to get a prep sheet ready.
Hey, if you would have stood up to her, she would have respected you, and she wouldn't have treated you like shit.
Well, you know what it was?
You're a cantankerous old bitch.
When I got there, she had been there already for a while, not doing a daily show, but because I went there, they gave her a daily show, okay? And I felt that because she had a certain seniority that I would respect her no matter what, and she always kept trying to egg me on. Yeah. You know that, right?
Yes.
And I just wouldn't go along with it. I tried to be as nice as was humanly possible to her. So when she died, I went, well, okay.
Well, let's get to this then now.
Mm-hmm.
You've had a long, storied, really, really good career. People know you, the industry, throughout the industry.
Mm.
What is your wish, so we don't get it wrong?
Mm.
What would you like to see, those of us in the industry, those of us on the citizen panel, what would you like to see, should the day ever come?
Are you asking if he wants to be cremated or buried?
No. What kind of a tribute would you like? What, I know you're going to get the big New York Times.
Well, first of all, the first tribute I would like, if you want to do something for me, is put a tombstone on my mother's grave. Okay, that would be probably number one.
Because Alex never did.
You will do that?
I'll do that.
You will do that?
I'll do that.
Because first you're going to have to find out where she's buried, and I can't remember.
That shouldn't be hard. That shouldn't be hard.
But
what would you like as your memory for you? And I'm sure a lot of people think about this. But
he wants to be cremated and put into his wife's storage locker.
Yeah, right.
What would make you feel? Because I know you're not a death person. You don't like death. But what would make you feel good?
Into a book.
What would make me feel good doing what?
A movie.
I mean, in other words,
for us to be around after you're not here, what would you like us to do and look down and say, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I'm still here. what kind of memorial, what kind of thing would you like us to? Because we're talking about how you did the thing for Lynn Samuels, and she was cantankerous, and you really didn't, and you did a much nicer thing than you should have.
Yeah, I was very.
So what would you say is the ideal thing? I mean, would you like to have a lot of comedians come together? Would you like, because you have a big comedian friendship?
I actually believe if I died and they held a memorial service,
Yeah.
about 2 people would show up.
No, I don't believe that at all.
Oh, I believe that.
I don't believe that.
I don't know that many. I don't have any friends.
Well, these
What?
people would show up.
Shecky would show up if he didn't have something else to do that day, like
That's
have a
true.
theater
That's
thing.
true.
You know,
That's
if it's on a
true.
Wednesday, forget it. Shecky's not coming to
If
my
there's
funeral.
a good deal on sushi, he's not coming.
Gotta go during the end of the week, Tom.
Tony will show
I
up.
would go. I mean, I would go.
You would come? I don't want you there, Tony.
Well, all right. See, that's what I'm getting
No
at.
choice.
You don't want Tony
I feel
there.
I
Tony
have
doesn't
to.
go.
You know,
I would
but
now-
who would come to my funeral?
I would go.
I'm not talking about a
would,
funeral.
yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
anything. It doesn't even have to be a funeral.
What do you want to me? You mean? Well, how do I want to be
Yeah,
remembered?
what would you
What
like?
do
What
you
would you
want?
like? I mean, you've talked about obits in the New York Times,
Mm-hmm.
and you've joked about they probably won't even give. Do you want an obit in the New York Times? Would you like a blurb on CNN? Would you? I mean, what kind of things would you like?
Would you like us to do something?
What would
He
you
wants
like?
Howard Stern to admit that he was
see?
his idol.
Oh,
that
see,
would be
there you go.
Yes.
And
Get it on
I'm sure Howard would do it after he's gone, because he
Right,
would
not
never
while he's
admit it.
alive.
He would never admit it for people who are alive.
Yeah. And,
Okay, so
and
that's
we
what he
know he
wants.
has
He wants
admitted
just
it to
his
people
mission.
privately.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I know people.
And the universe to acknowledge him as the podcast father.
Father of the
Yes.
podcast.
Afraid
Well,
of the podcast.
I did create the first podcast.
okay, so that's
Ah,
that's
here we
all you
go.
want? Created the first podcast?
No, that I don't want to be known for that.
Okay. What would you like?
That I entertain people and I maybe made their lives a little more fun.
Okay.
Don't forget the 2 sports Emmys.
And there's
Yeah.
one sports Emmy.
Yeah.
But let's get it straight. I only have one sports Emmy. The other one's for informational and entertainment program. Okay. Yes, Jason has his hand up.
So, if you were ever recognized for the originator of the podcast, wouldn't you also be recognized for the destroyer of radio?
The destroyer of radio. How am I
No,
the destroyer of radio?
Because this was long before radio was destroyed that he started the podcast thing.
Right.
It takes time. Skynet takes some time.
You
You
know,
killed radio, Alex. It's all your fault.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would love to be known for. I think I would just like to be known that I did a fairly good radio program that gave people some entertainment.
Used to be a
you know,
big shot.
you know. I mean, I always just considered myself an entertainer, and that's the thing that was always lost on other people. I mean, like at Sirius XM, I told them I'm not a political person.
Right.
I'm an entertainer. And they accepted that in the beginning and just said, you know, well, we want to put. The reason they put me on the political station was because they needed to fill it up and get people to pay attention to it. So they said, you know, just talk about politics occasionally, but, you know, just do what you want to do. And I just wanted to entertain.
And you were a lefty.
And I
They
was a
were starting
lefty.
up
It
the left
happened.
channel.
It happened to work.
Right.
And
I
it-
will have to tell you that
That's how I
was the
found it.
best radio in my life.
What-
Was you
what-
on Sirius?
My
Yeah.
show on Sirius. How was it the best radio in your life?
It was just I work for a phone company. I'm in a truck all the time, and I have to I listen to the radio. I always used to listen to music, and I would think that people who listen to talk radio were old people. But then I got into it, and it was the best radio of my life. You know, with you and Albert with his songs and when he did put in the sound effects and everything, it was, I hear people who are fans of you when they were kids and teenagers and stuff, and I guess I kind of get that feeling. I was in my 20s, but that's when I was introduced to you, and it was the best radio of my life, man. It was the political, and you had the same political feelings that I did, and it was just the whole experience was
Well,
awesome.
if it was entertaining, this guy had a lot to do with it. You know, very much so.
Everything to do
Everything to do with it.
I wrote the prep sheet.
I mean,
It was very good that you, as the host of the radio show, involved your crew. You involved your call screener. You involved your you involved the people that are doing the show for you. It was awesome.
Explain something to me, Jason. Explain how you made that transition from being a music listener to finding this show, why you went to that station, because I never get that. I never understand where
15 minutes
people come
every
from.
song over again.
And so what made you punch on to a political, what was I guess known as a political talk station?
Really, I started flipping through the channels, and then I think I originally turned it on, and you were playing "This is the greatest American thing," and I was thinking, "Oh, dude, this is like some old shit." But then I really did hear your voice, and I didn't think you were that old. But I'm like listening to the music, I'm like, dude, this has to be some old guy.
The reason we made that the theme song of the show is it was quite by accident, and that I had been watching this movie called The Great American Broadcast. And I heard this song, and I went, that's got to be the theme song, because I don't want any right-winger to be able to get it before me. Okay?
I love that song. You should use it on here.
Huh? I can't play it here because I will then get
blocked. Copyright, because it's a real old movie, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's in copyright.
Banana Phone copyright? Because you should play that one too.
Yeah, but the thing was that
where's the banana phone?
I want to ask Albert something here, because I've never gotten a straight answer out of you. You did one of the most amazing openings for my show of anything you ever did.
I did, didn't I?
And that. Well, I haven't told you what it is yet.
I don't know.
It was your parody of the Big Bang Theory theme song.
Yes.
Yeah. How did you do that?
I don't even remember at the time. The singing part is easy.
I wish I easily had it available here. I'd play it for you, but I don't. But, I mean, it was amazing because you took the music from the show and you managed to, I don't know, cut out all the...
I think it was a combination of several different pieces. One was the actual music.
Yeah.
The actual music, the theme song, which I think was recorded in stereo.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's recorded in stereo, you can remove most of the vocals. Anything in the center channel,
phase
you can
it out.
remove. Right. You can phase out the center channel, which means you lose some of the drums, because most of the drums and the bass are in the center channel.
Yeah.
But the rest of the stuff on the side stays. But then I think I found another version of it, an instrumental version of it, that was in a different key, and it was also slightly different tempo. So I had to match the key and the tempo.
Yeah.
And I created this bed to sing over.
Does anybody here remember the Big Bang Theory opening that he did?
I don't remember the words, but
that was
remember
really good.
the song.
Yeah, we used it on the TV show. I made a video.
Oh, right, yes, that's right, yeah.
And
that was a good intro, by the way. I like
and
that.
I would play it here, only I have to go find it, and I don't want to. I'd probably take us off the air while trying to do it.
So YouTube would probably cut you off.
But when he did that, to this day, this is the first time he's kind of explained how he did it. But it was amazing. It was just amazing.
Well, you liked the song. We talked about how much we liked the show, and I said, well, let me see if there's something there. So
yeah,
you do what you can.
Yeah. So anyway, so what else is new? Oh, wait a minute. Tom Yamaguchi.
Oh, look at that.
Is calling. Okay, here we go. We're gonna have to go to
Bill's taking an important
We're gonna
phone
have
call.
to go to our. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I gotta get Tom in here. Let me see here. Let me see if I can figure out what Tom is. Tom. Oh, there we go. Tommy Yamaguchi, it says here. Okay, let me see here. Wait a minute. Is that it? Wait a minute. No, we just lost Tony. So I've got to get... Wait a minute. Oh, there's Tony.
Something weird happened
I guess
there.
I have everybody. Yeah, I have everybody that I had. Okay, so I got to go over here. Let me see here. There we go. Okay, there we go. Isn't it amazing how I do this? I managed to get everybody's a separate channel.
And you still have room for one more.
I have more than room for one more.
Oh, really?
I also have a where I can fit 12 people on at the same time.
Well, give them the phone number. And
Yeah,
call up now.
the phone number so you don't forget. Hi, Tom. How are you?
Hi.
Hello,
I just
Tom.
got home and I want to just say hello to Albert.
Hello,
Yeah.
Tom. How's things?
Yeah. Yeah, I came home just as you were talking about death.
Oh, during the pleasant parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where, you still in California?
I still in California, in the Bay Area,
That's a nice state now.
where I still remember the best radio of my life.
Oh,
That was Alex on Live 105.
You know
Before that-
something? This is kind of getting to be what somehow my funeral would seem like tonight.
it's not going to be
Hey,
this
We're
good.
giving you a memorial while you're still
Good night.
alive. You can appreciate it.
Yes, that's a good thing.
yeah.
That's
yeah,
a good thing.
Yeah.
we could do a West Coast memorial in San Francisco. A lot of people say it.
Yeah, well, I mean, people know me from San Francisco, a lot of them. Where are we getting? We're getting some traffic noise from somewhere, but I have no idea where it's coming from.
Yeah, me.
But Phil's been absolutely quiet.
Because he's been on the phone. Who are you talking to, Phil?
Oh, I'm arranging a whale photography watching expedition in Monterey Bay, and that was the guy who sets it up, and I've got 5 guys that, including myself, that want to go down and
Mini
shoot
burgers and
whales.
fries.
You're going to go and shoot whales? Is that what
Yeah.
I'm hearing?
Yeah,
Disgusting.
he's gonna go. Why bring cameras? Why bring our
Humpbacks.
guns?
Yeah.
Shoot whales.
Yeah, humpback whales. Going to shoot them good.
And then when they shit their pants, Tony can wipe them.
Right.
Wipe it.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. When those whales go down to get the sardines or whatever it is that they eat, the krill,
Yeah.
and then they
Krill.
come up, there is a smell that, like this, it's like nothing you've ever smelled before. It's like what Tony has to do and keep the baby wipe close to his nose.
Boy, this show is just kind of getting really.
Well, either they talk about your funeral or we talk about wiping ass, you know.
Feel free to change the subject.
Who's going to wipe my ass at my funeral? Anyway,
I don't think you'll have to worry about it.
this is actually disgusting what we're talking about here. Let's talk about Trump. No,
Hey, yeah.
Let me get my hat.
See that great photo in the hospital with the orphan baby?
no. What was this? What was
Yeah.
this?
The okay. Big
Oh,
smile.
he had a
baby.
yeah, he had a photo with a baby that the parents were lost in the shooting, and
They were
he was
killed. They
standing
weren't
next to
lost.
the
They were
found?
killed.
Were they found?
Yeah, they were murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he gave the thumbs up sign. I think that's a little, you know.
Well, I mean, he did
So-
give the thumbs up sign, Phil. I mean, come
So,
on.
Phil, you're still not pro gun control at all?
I like the idea of these background checks, and
Apparently so does Trump.
And so does Trump, and I also think that there should be universal health care for the
What?
for
Wait a minute, Jason. He isn't finished yet. Okay.
For Republicans.
for mental health,
Just for
That's
mental
it.
health.
That's
just
it.
for mental health.
Not for broken
If-
bones or for
no,
cancer.
because
Well, I agree because in that way, it's for damn sure that Donald Trump isn't going to be able to buy a gun.
he's got the Secret Service. What does he need a gun for?
Yeah. But I mean,
That'll make a bulge in his jacket.
He's said these kind of things before when these things happen to kind of get the heat off
Yeah.
of him, and then it gets forgotten. It
Well,
doesn't.
let's see what he does. He said, hey, Mitch McConnell came back and says, I'm neutral. I
Moscow
didn't agree
Mitch.
to anything. But, let's see what Trump does. I don't think he cares
It's
what
not
Mitch
just
McConnell
Trump.
thinks.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
all
he
of
cares
them.
either.
I
It's
don't
all
think
of
he
them.
cares about anything.
They need to, everybody needs to get together to do something, and they never do. And it's not going to change.
And
So
they
the-
haven't. I mean,
so
there's
the
hundreds
conversation
of
is
these-
pointless.
Yeah, hundreds of these things, and nobody's done anything.
Yeah.
If Trump says he's going to do something, I believe he will.
Nobody's done anything because the NRA is running the show.
Yeah, but think he's standing up to them. I don't think he cares.
I don't think he's standing up to them. I think he and Wayne Law or Pepe Le Pew or whatever
Pierre.
that guy's name is.
They've already had meetings.
They already had a little
They
discussion about
want.
how they were going to parse this thing so everybody would get something out of it. Okay? And
They're very Machiavellian.
and they probably said, look, we got to do something to take the heat off the NRA and to take the heat off of me. So if I say this and we do that, and I'm sure he didn't do anything that Pepe Le Pew didn't want him to do. Tom, what do you think?
I was going to say what's his name was saying over here, that it's the NRA. I mean, they're the ones that are doing something. And the only way to counteract them is for all of us to lobby even harder than them. I mean, call your senator, call your congressperson. How many people have called their congresspeople about this issue of background checks?
Not gonna change anything.
How many?
97% of the people want background checks.
Have you called your congressman?
You don't have to call.
Phil, let me correct that for a second. Yes, 97% want background checks today. What about next week? You know, the fact is the public has right now we have this passion because of what went on. 2 events, one right after the other, and actually 3 if you include Gilroy. And you know what happened tonight on this, what was it, NBC? They did, wait a minute, hold on a second. On NBC, they did this, this tribute to the people who had died. And they went all the way back like 2 years to all the names of the people who have been killed in mass shootings, which is not small. It took them a while to run the crawl. But it went Dayton, El Paso, and then it went to something else. They forgot Gilroy.
Oh, did they?
They forgot Gilroy. Yeah.
Did you hear that a guy walked into Walmart tonight with a body armor and an assault weapon?
Yeah.
And some retired fireman with a handgun took the guy down.
Well, you want to hear about?
He was arrested. It was in Missouri. He wasn't.
No, but he stopped him, and he didn't kill him, but he cornered him, or arrested him.
Yeah, he wasn't up to any bad thing. He was just being
a schmuck,
being stupid. Yeah. But the thing is that he was being stupid. But the fact is that what's interesting is that in spite of all this, Walmart is still going to be selling guns.
Yeah. And video games.
And video games. Yeah.
Video games is just
well, I see the
don't have anything to do with anything.
I see the guns as being more of a problem. I see the guns as being more of a problem than the video games, to be honest with you.
I saw a profiler tonight on what's the guy that's got that podcast on CBSN? They
I don't know.
looted a restaurant.
Everybody has a fucking podcast.
Well,
okay, get over it.
Anyway, he had a FBI profiler, retired profiler on there, and she said that the video games weren't it, that it's hate, and what these people are doing is that they're going in, they're not angry, they hate, and they make it sound
it's
like
actually a lack of empathy.
Yeah, well, they dehumanize the people that they attack. Yeah,
I play video games, and I especially like the ones where you are shooting things. Okay.
Yeah.
With guns that are
yeah
exactly the same as in real life, with the specifications provided by the gun industry in advance to ensure that they are entirely accurate.
I play these games like I played. What was it? What's the one? The war one?
Call of Duty.
No, what?
All of Action or something.
Yeah, Call of Duty. I love that one. I love all the Tomb Raider.
Ethnographic study.
I love all the Tomb Raiders. But I mean, I'm not about ready to go. I hate. But I hate.
You
guns.
don't think it desensitizes a person to thinking that I shoot them and they get back up on the next level?
No. Because they know they're shooting pixels, Phil. They're smarter than Trump is.
I don't
know. We started even if they are, Phil, it's not a real gun.
We started the show off, and we were talking in just about how much I love BattleBots. That doesn't make me want to go out and. I want to see violence, but I want to see violence where things are getting destroyed with nobody getting hurt.
Exactly. Yes, Tom Yamaguchi.
That's
Well, first
because
of all,
you're sane.
In Japan, they enjoy their violent video games and violent movies even more than the United States, and they don't have the problem the United States do. Now, what is a problem with inciting violence is we have a man in the White House who called them invaders, and we have the reaction from this guy in El Paso. Now, I haven't read the manifesto. I probably will eventually. I'm just sick of reading all these manifestos. But actually using the same language. And we're talking about dehumanization. Well, we're calling people invaders. This is an invasion. These are,
I think that's a cop-out.
Response. That's what's going on.
You mean to say that anybody who uses words, if somebody else does something bad, you can blame the person?
It is the way that the way those words are being used. And you know who wrote that speech on Monday that Trump was giving as if he was being taken hostage? It was Stephen Miller, the biggest white supremacist in the White House. And he wrote that speech specifically to sound very, very passive, to send the message that Trump really didn't mean what he was saying. He was sending out the message to white supremacists that he thinks what they're doing is okay. And that's the truth.
I think that the tinfoil antennas are just getting a little long.
What's it getting a little long?
The tinfoil
antennas. He was making a perceived...
Calling you a kook.
I'm saying that it's a conspiracy that you're talking about, and I don't believe that there's a conspiracy going
Phil,
on.
when these people, when you have your president talking all of this hate speech, and then you have people going out there and doing stuff.
Hold on a second, Phil.
You're associating hate speech
hold it down.
with...
Hold it down a second, Phil. We're not talking about hate
You're trying to make an equivalent.
Phil, hold it down. What we're saying here is, and it's what I've said over and over again, the problem is what the president has done is given a sense of permission. And that, as you may remember, Albert, I always used to talk about, let's make sure we don't give a sense of permission.
You should be
to
ashamed.
Anybody
You should be ashamed that you're equating what he's saying as a sense of permission. You're just falling lockstep with the left.
No, I'm not. I'm not, Phil. Phil, listen to me. Listen. Okay, calm down, Phil.
Conspiracy theories. Talking about
Alex.
Wait a minute.
Alex, let me ask Phil a question.
Okay.
You said one time about the percentage of these immigrants who are coming up through Mexico who are raped. Do you remember what that was?
39.
They were raped in the country that they were coming from. That's why they're fucking leaving, you jackass.
They were raped
on
the way up.
They were not raped on the way up here. They had people with cameras the whole entire fucking way showing how people were helping them, coming up with water. Are you guys thirsty? Do you need food? Do you need this? Do you need that?
You want to get
they
raped.
Were raped in the country that they left.
Phil,
they were coming up here to escape that because Donald Trump actually cut off foreign aid to those countries. That's why they're
$10 billion
Phil,
Guatemala
calm down.
And
calm
Mexico.
down, Phil. Calm down.
Aid while he's sitting there giving it to the Israel.
Phil, to begin with, you don't know these people were getting raped coming up here, Phil. Wait a minute, hold on a second.
That's what we were told.
No, that's what you were told by your right-wing media.
No, that's what we were told by the.
No, you are being just as
immigration.
You are being just as much in the.
Yeah, you know, maybe that percentage is where they're being raped in the U.S.
I'm losing it. I've
housing.
lost control of the show.
Sorry about that.
Raped in U.S. housing, U.S. prisons. They're being raped by U.S. Border Patrol.
Yeah.
Also, you gotta forget. Can't forget about that.
Yeah.
But they're being raped in the countries that they're
Phil,
coming.
Phil always accuses people of being dupes of the left and so on and so forth. He's being a dupe of the right with that stuff about the rape going on and all of that. Wait a minute, Tom has his hand up, and I
would just say, if I'm a dupe of the left, then the FBI is a dupe of the left as well.
That way.
FBI all right, well.
Homie Clapper.
See? See, there it goes. We had a terrorism expert, and actually, I mentioned this before, other than on Jack's show, because it was brought up on Michelangelo Signorelli's show. A guy, a terrorism expert from the FBI, said exactly what I was just saying about Trump's speech, written by Stephen Miller. The flags lowered to half-mast until yesterday, when they were supposed to go up. On August 8th, 8/8. That's the eighth letter of the alphabet, and it's a code for the neo-Nazis of Heil Hitler. Okay?
Dog whistles. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a conspiracy. Yeah, Trump's out there helping the neo-Nazis. Yeah, okay, I believe it. Yeah, sure. Yeah. No, I don't.
Your political views, Phil, is the same political views that killed the people that you call your ancestors.
Yeah, Phil,
I don't
how
think so.
how does it make you feel that he has not disavowed the KKK endorsement that he got? Does that not as a Jew give
He
you
did
any
it right.
pause?
He did it, and he disavowed. What's his name? Who was head of the KKK? Who said he was supporting him? He disavowed that too. David Duke.
He didn't know who he was after he said.
He didn't know who. He didn't know. No, Phil. He did not know who David Duke was. Or at least, I think at one point, am I right about this, Jason? He knew who David Duke was. Then, when asked about David Duke, he says, "I don't know who he is."
Mm-hmm. Right.
If I remember the way that whole thing went.
I was more talking about the actual Klan, the Ku Klux Klan as it stands now.
Yeah. Yeah.
They endorse him for president. Yeah. And, if I was a Jew, I would think I'd be like,
in the South
the KKK, the Nazis are endorsing this guy. Maybe I better think about that. I don't know.
If I was Jewish,
it doesn't matter. Hey, they're not going to endorse your guy.
The United States government didn't take in Jewish refugees back in World War II, and maybe they should be taking in refugees from the other countries now because they see what happened to
maybe
my
if
ancestors.
the Queen had balls, she'd be king. Come on.
What's that all about, Phil?
I'm answering Jason.
No, you're not answering anything.
Because he's bringing up Jewish refugees in World War II.
Amazing.
Well, if they let them in,
the United States government didn't do anything. Maybe if they did.
At this time, Trump is doing something. He's protecting our borders.
And he's
dealing with the Chinese.
Stop
and
it!
their unfair
Stop it,
trade
Phil!
practice.
Stop it! Okay, we don't need to hear that same song every time.
Just like your song.
What? My song is simply a song.
Your song is the song of the South.
What?
Sounds like the song of the South.
Well, this ain't no zippity doo dah, my friend. Let me see here. What time is it? Are we running out of time here? Are we running out of time? Luckily, we are in a couple of minutes, about 20 seconds from now, going to run the closing theme, which will. Welcome back, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
It's a conspiracy.
Yeah. He figured it was safe to come back on, and maybe there wouldn't be a problem
Just when you
here.
thought it was safe to get into the water.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, hey, listen. Let me start running the theme here. Let me first of all thank, and let's give a round of applause to our guest host, Albert Reynoso, the best producer I've ever had, and a good friend, and probably even a better friend now than he was when we were working together.
There's no doubt about it.
There's no doubt about it. When you're not working with each other, you become better
So
friends.
why did you make him take the bus?
Thank you very much, Phil. Anyway, I want to thank everybody. First, I want to thank Jason, and I want to thank, let's see here, who else? Phil, and I want to thank Dan, and I want to thank Charlie, and I want to thank Tony, and I want to thank Bree, and I want to thank Tom. Great hearing from you,
And I want to
Tom.
thank Alex.
And I want to thank him as well, whatever his name is. Hey, everybody, big wave goodbye, okay? Okay, and we'll wave back, all right? There we go. Let me see here. Let me get rid of them all. Let me take a moment here to say goodbye to our special guest. It's always nice
when you can do this, hold on a second. I try to do all this at the same time, and it's a pain in the ass. Anyway, thank you so much for,
Thanks for
joining us
having
this
me.
evening. Albert, anytime you're here, please.
I'll come up more often.
You come up more often. You should also call us on the show, but you're asleep by now.
I'm too busy looking at porn at that time. of the
Or
night. Come on.
battle bots.
Oh, battle bots, right.
Yeah, we'll have to compare porn.
I don't do that anymore.
Oh, okay.
Well, not a lot.
I do it just to make sure it still works.
I've seen it all. I've hit the porn wall. That's
yeah,
it.
and they all have tattoos now, which I don't like either. Anyway, hey, listen, that's it. Thank you so much for joining us. Jack Bishop is next with The Intersection. We'll see you again on Tuesday, right after Damian Chaplin does his program called The Exchange. In the meantime, as I always like to say, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody. Goodbye.